Why Patrick Stewart hated Picard's pet lionfish in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Captain Jean-Luc Picard Patrick Stewart kept a pet fish in his ready room on Star Trek: The Next Generation, a fact that Patrick Stewart hated. Beginning with TNG's feature-length premiere, Captain Picard kept a lionfish named Livingston in a spherical fish tank in his ready room. Livingston appeared in an impressive 86 episodes of TNG, more than most of the show's other recurring characters. Many visitors to Picard's ready room, from LT Commander Data Brent Spiner to Borg drone Hugh Jonathan Del Arco, stopped to appreciate Livingston. Livingston was the first recurring pet to appear on Star Trek, but would be followed by several furry and non-furry friends over the years. Data later adopted a cat named Spot in Season 4 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Captain Jonathan Archer Scott Bakula brought his dog Portos along for his historic mission in Star Trek: Enterprise. By the time of Star Trek Picard, Jean-Luc had acquired a pit bull named Number 1, a pet that better suited Patrick Stewart. The reason Patrick Stewart hated Picard's pet fish in Star Trek: TNG. In a 2011 interview with StarTrek.com, Ronnie Cox, who portrayed Captain Edward Jellicoe in the TNG Season 6 two-parter Chain of Command, revealed why Patrick Stewart disliked having Livingston in Picard's ready room. Stewart felt that the people of the 24th century would no longer keep animals in captivity for display. Star Trek has always been about celebrating diversity in all its forms and illustrating that even species vastly different from humans deserve to be treated with dignity. In the context of this utopian future, it does feel odd to keep a tropical fish on display. Interestingly, Star Trek has pointed out the questionable morality of keeping living creatures in captivity since its original unaired pilot, The Cage. In it, Captain Christopher Pike Jeffrey Hunter encounters the powerful Telosians, who keep a variety of life forms including humans if they got their wish in a menagerie on Talos 4. Star Trek: Lower Decks poked fun at this idea in the Season 4 episode, I Have No Bones Yet I Must Flee, in which the crew of the USS Cerritos visit Narja's miraculous menagerarium. All things considered, Patrick Stewart makes a solid point. According to the Star Trek: The Next Generation companion, Brent Spiner was the one who proposed that Data should have a pet cat, but he may have come to regret that decision. Spiner has joked that the cats playing Spot were regularly difficult to work with. This is not particularly surprising, as cats are notoriously difficult to train, and this likely meant scenes with Spot took numerous takes to get right. Throughout TNG's 7 seasons, Spot was portrayed by 6 different cats: Monster, Brandy, Bud, Tyler, Spencer, and Zoe, although it's unknown which one was best at taking direction. Despite the difficulties the various cats playing Spot caused on set, it was ultimately a smart decision to give Data a pet. Giving Data a cat allowed TNG to explore another aspect of the android's journey to find his humanity, and it's difficult to imagine that Data does not experience emotion after watching his scenes with Spot. Data clearly cares about his beloved pet, as evidenced by the fact that Spot remains on his mind even decades later in Star Trek: Picard Season 3. Regardless of how the actors felt about their pets, Livingston and Spot helped make Star Trek: The Next Generation feel a little more like home. When you think of Star Trek: The Next Generation, your mind might leap to warp drives, Data's emotion chip, or that perfectly smooth command issued by Jean-Luc Picard: Engage. But hidden among the star charts and philosophical quandaries lies a detail so small yet so enduring it has become something of a curiosity in Trek lore: Captain Picard's pet lionfish. Yes, that's right. A lionfish. Housed in a sleek, curved aquarium nestled into the wall of the Enterprise D's ready room, the lionfish, canonically named Livingston, was often seen calmly floating behind Picard during his most pensive moments. But while fans may have thought this regal fish added gravitas and serenity to the room, the actor behind the captain's steely gaze, Sir Patrick Stewart, had a very different opinion. He hated that fish. An actor, a fish, and a philosophical divide. To understand Stewart's distaste for the lionfish, one must first understand Stewart himself. A classically trained Shakespearean actor with decades of Royal Shakespeare Company performances under his belt, Stewart brought gravitas, intellectual weight, and a deep respect for character to every role he played. To Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard was a man of contemplation, diplomacy, and fierce morality. He imagined his captain's ready room as a sanctuary of focus, a place of quiet resolve where command decisions of galactic importance were made. But every time the camera rolled, there it was, Livingston, flaring his fins like a villain in a Bond movie, silently stealing the scene. I never understood why a Starfleet captain, especially one as cerebral as Jean-Luc, would keep a dangerous alien fish as a pet, Stewart once grumbled to a crew member, according to behind-the-scenes lore. It felt kitschy. The origin of Livingston, the fish, was not Stewart's idea. The show's producers added the tank during the first season as a way to give the captain's office a bit more flair, something to distinguish it from the uniform minimalism of Federation design. They chose a lionfish for its exotic beauty and vaguely alien appearance. Set designers loved it. Directors loved the visual texture it added in the background. Fans began asking, "What kind of fish is that?" and naming it in fan fiction long before the canon caught up. Eventually, the creature was dubbed Livingston, allegedly in honor of Star Trek producer David Livingston, who worked extensively on the franchise. But Stewart, he never warmed up to it. Trouble on set. In multiple interviews over the years, Stewart has alluded to his frustration with certain props, none more so than the lionfish. "I tried to get it written out of the show," he joked during a convention Q&A before adding with a touch of sincerity, "I thought it was an odd fit." The presence of the fish became a minor running joke among cast and crew. Jonathan Frakes' Commander Riker once teased Stewart by leaving a plush lionfish on his captain's chair during a rehearsal. Marina Sirtis counselor Troy would occasionally peer into the tank and murmur mock psychological diagnoses for the fish. Stewart played along, but deep down, he remained unimpressed. There were even rumors never confirmed that Stewart had once asked a director, only half-jokingly, if Picard could have a scene where he liberates the fish, perhaps setting it free in a Betazoid lake or gifting it to a young ensign as a graduation present. Anything to get that fish out of his shot. Symbolism or set dressing. Some fans have taken a more analytical approach to Livingston's presence. They argue the fish represents Picard's confinement, his own life in a glass tank, constantly observed, rarely allowed true freedom. Others think it shows Picard's appreciation for exotic beauty and complex ecosystems, echoing his love for archaeology and culture. But Stewart wasn't buying it. "It was a fish. That's all," he once said bluntly. Not everything has to mean something. This divide between Stewart's vision for Picard and the production team's desire for visual appeal is a microcosm of the challenges inherent in long-running TV. Sometimes, an actor sees a scene one way while the art department sees another. Usually, the audience never knows. But when a pet lionfish becomes a fixture of your character's office, you notice. Time heals all scales. In later years, Stewart mellowed on the subject. During press for Star Trek, Picard, he was asked again about the infamous fish. He chuckled and admitted that, in hindsight, it was a harmless addition. "I suppose it was part of the charm," he said, "even if I never understood it." Indeed, Livingston never appeared in Picard, perhaps a subtle nod to Stewart's long-standing dislike. The new series gave us a more introspective, grounded view of Jean-Luc, one without ornamental distractions or background aquariums.